Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. I hope you enjoy these cards I'm making today with a bunch of Whimsy products as well as my gel plate and some alcohol inks, and let's jump into the process. So we'll be using our gel plate and some alcohol inks and these supplies that are on the screen. The star of the show really is the Coneflower frame die as well as the papers from the Farmhouse 6x6 pattern paper pack. Now I end up not using that particular sentiment strip die set. I use the is it called quick strips? I think it's called quick strips. In any case, everything will be linked and listed downstairs in the description box as always, and you can see that I just jumped right on into my process. So I have my 5x7 gel plate, but I'm not using a brayer today, and I'm using a glossy cardstock rather than something matte. Excuse me. So the colors of ink that I'm using are Alchemy and Envy. Both of those are pearls. Alchemy is the yellow, Envy is the green that I'll be using. And then just regular alcohol ink is called Pitch Black, the black one. And of course, I'm trying to make cone flowers, or black-eyed Susans, I guess, are the yellow ones. Echinacea is kind of a periwinkle, but yeah, I really wanted to go with this one. So placement of the colors is important, and you can see me kind of hesitate and pause, and I'm going back and forth in my brain because, see, trying to line it up, I feel like I've got it right, but then once I pull it, it's backwards. So I end up doing something a little bit different, but I pull 3 different prints and they're all beautiful in their own way. Some of them are a little more subdued than the others, but all of them are beautiful. I do change them all, as I mentioned, but we'll see how that goes. So using my little puffer tool, I can't remember what that's called, that little hand blower, it really helps. See, I did not want to use the brayer because I wanted everything to be much more natural, right? I wanted the blends to be organic and just to have that nice kind of fluid liquid flow, versus if I used a brayer, things just kind of blend together, and I don't know, it just wasn't the look I was going for. So here I'm not purposefully trying to lift the ink, but I did want to add some texture with the FaDoodles dots. One of them has that in the end, and you'll be able to see it, see the dots when I blow it up at the end, and you can see for yourself what you think of it. This is my very first pull. Not beautiful, but I do use it. And like I said, I change everything. Now the third panel, I lost the footage for that, so I apologize. I do end up making a card out of it, and I'll show you as we get to the end. But the second pull that I'm holding in my hand now, that is actually printed on a glossy piece of, it's a very thick cardboard that was the back of a 6x6 pattern paper pack. So I ended up using some white acrylic paint to pull that print. Now you could leave it just like that. I think it has a very interesting texture and a very interesting look. And the same with the more bolder yellow, but I just wanted to be really purposeful about the placement of color. So I come back in and I end up adding that ink directly to the paper. You can see that I'm using a little bit of the blending liquid, or the blending solution, just because I wanted it to move. I didn't want it to just sit in the one spot where I dripped it, but unfortunately it tends to bleed a little bit. But I remedy that. I just take a paper towel to it and I dab up what I don't want. But in the end, I keep saying in the end, but that's because this is one of those processes that you have to wait till the end to see what you're actually going to get. But in the end, I do like what I get, and the way the colors blend, it really doesn't matter that the black kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to, I know what I'm trying to say, I don't know how to say it, that the black bleeds from its boundaries. How's that? Does that make sense? So again, coming back with the yellow, I started to say pink with the yellow and filling in those spaces. And again, you could stop at any point. Like the green and black one, that looks really cool, just green and black. But then I bring in the yellow and I like that too. There's no right or wrong here, I think. I just really like it. And I thought that I was going to do the frames in just one solid color, but yeah, I didn't want to. I wanted it to be a little more random, just like the cards are. So I love the way the colors do blend together. And, you know, a lot of that black, like I said, has kind of spread out from the centers. But some of the yellow and the green has spread into the centers. So I just like them. I think they're really cool. Now there I was just spraying a little bit of isopropyl alcohol just to allow the colors to move and blend and fill in any empty spaces, any white spaces, and it also created some more texture. So here I am lifting them up on both panels up on double-sided foam tape just to give some lift and some dimension. And then I'm layering it on a couple of different sheets of the pattern paper from the Farmhouse pattern paper pack, which is one of my favorites. I need to go ahead and order some more. I really, really love this one. But trying to get my double-sided foam tape straight, and then I just snip it. You have to be very careful laying it down because it's the exact width of the border. And then I just add a little bit of liquid glue to both of them just so I have some wiggle room if I need it, and then I trim off any excess with my scissors. Now you could use a guillotine or something like that, but for me it's just as easy to use my my hand scissors. I guess it's fussy cutting, right? I don't know. But I think these are fun. They both have a very different look from each other with the newsprint versus the plaid, but I think they're both sweet in their own right. And so here in just a second, I am going to be mounting them up on 5x7 card bases and just using that liquid glue. It's my Barely Arts glue. I do love this glue, and yeah, it just has not failed me at all. So I have these kind of offset to the left because I am going to add another strip of pattern paper just to kind of add some more interest to the card and coordinate with the other papers and colors that I have going on. And here comes that. On the right, you can see I had that kind of mattress ticking. I turned it sideways and cut it that way. And then this one is that kind of grungy checkerboard. And then I stamped out my sentiments from the Foxes. What's it called? The Fox family. I showed it in the beginning that I was going to use the You're So Beautiful. Yeah, Fox family. But I ended up choosing Happy Mother's Day as well, and I actually cut that out twice. And then I did use the sentiment strips that are called quick strips versus the other ones because these were a little bit not necessarily longer because the other ones were longer, but they have enough to take that two-layer sentiment. Does that make sense? There's enough room on these die cuts for that two-layer sentiment that says You're So Beautiful. And then of course I added some matte black confetti from This Calls for Confetti. On that one is just a couple, and then this one is just on the sentiment, and then on my last one it's actually a shaker, and I call this the last one, but it was actually the first one, and that's the one I lost the footage of. So you can see that on the shaker one, I did not add, I don't know if you can tell or not, but I did not add any of the ink directly to the paper. That was just the pull, and I love it. And here as we zoom in, you can see some of the polka dotty texture from the FaDoodle's Dots stamp. But guys, these are my cards. All three of them, they're very similar, but they're also different. And of course, two of them are Mother's Day, and one is just because you're beautiful. So y'all let me know what you think. Are you already working on Mother's Day cards? It's not that far away. But in the meantime, I would love to hear from you downstairs in the comment box. And of course, we ask that you like, subscribe, and all those good things. And until next time, guys, this has been Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Mwah! Thanks for joining me, and I'm out.